My name is Willis Lamb, Field Supervisor of the LRTC Technical Large Animal Rescue Team in northwestern Nevada. We're an all-risk team that covers multiple counties and responds to an average of over 500 incidents per year. In this presentation, we will cover flood evacuations. In short, floods are dangerous. Moving water, in particular, can be unexpectedly forceful. We usually can't see what's under the water or what's in the water. There are electrical and biohazard risks as well as holes and trip hazards. These are dangers that rescuers often don't fully consider as they focus on their mission objectives. In 2024, at least 166 deaths resulted from flood events, more than from wildfires. While most flood fatalities had little to do with livestock evacuations, these numbers demonstrate that this is a serious issue. Most recently in Texas, several ranchers died while attempting to rescue their stock. Out west, we don't experience recurrent hurricanes or the severe weather issues that frequent the Midwest, but we have events such as those described as atmospheric rivers or the Pineapple Express, massive plumes of moisture-laden air that come across the Pacific Ocean. Even as late as December 2025, a stream of moisture-laden air punished the Pacific Northwest. It's a scientific fact that warmer atmospheres contain more moisture, and warmer land masses increase convection that can produce severe storms. Given that our climate is experiencing a warming trend, storms and their severity will increase. Additionally, warm rains or strings of hot days can cause mountain snowpacks to melt faster than streams and rivers can handle the runoff. Bottom line, floods happen. Unlike those who suddenly find themselves in the middle of a calamity, we as responders have the advantage of training, proper equipment, and the experience gained from responding to various flood incidents. This presentation will provide basic safety information and techniques that will be further developed during hands-on training. To start with, we need to understand various terms that would be part of forecasts and warnings, so we have some idea as to what we may be getting into. Aerial flooding generally refers to water accumulating from prolonged rainfall and occasionally from many days of snowmelt. Water doesn't appear suddenly, but rather accumulates and spreads over a wide area. Flash flooding, usually the result of extremely intense rainfall, can produce swift and dangerous flows of water with minimal warning. Both types of events pose risks to rescuers and animals. We have to recognize potential impacts on access and egress. With water over roadways, we don't know for sure how intact the pavement is. Also, is the water increasing or receding? The route you came in on may not be passable after loading animals for evacuation. Don't rely on local civilians for accurate road conditions. What may have been passable before the water rose may be passable no longer. Waiting for search and rescue to tow you out of a washout only drags out the operation, which can be particularly problematic if water is rising. Especially in water, response trailers should have adequate interior and exterior lighting. Moving flashlights, especially reflecting off water, can be disturbing to livestock. Respond with more trailers than you expect to need. Soggy ground, including gravel roads, may not support full loads. You can empty stock tanks and use them as boats to bring smaller animals out. Be careful that they don't have active electrical deicers, as those could produce an electrocution hazard. For that matter, avoid any electrical sources that you might encounter. Hypothermia is a serious concern. Animals in deep water can be significantly compromised, and hypothermia protocols are warranted. Responders require rehab during extended operations. Also, responders need to bring extra pairs of socks. Water can be poured out of boots and somewhat dried out, but wet socks will last the duration. Dry socks, even in damp boots, can significantly impact comfort. Responders should all wear appropriate personal flotation devices. It's easy to step into a hole or trip over something under the water, and you don't want to end up with a mouthful of contaminated water. Also, only polypropylene ropes should be used as they float in order to prevent entanglements with underwater hazards, rescuers, or evacuating livestock. Floodwaters typically contain diluted animal feces, seepage from flooded septic tanks, chemicals including poisons, and natural environmental hazards. Animals and responders should decontaminate as soon as practicable to prevent unpleasant rashes or worse. All vehicles operating in high water need to be inspected. Trailers, even those with so-called waterproof bearings, will need the wheel bearings repacked to prevent bearing failure later. Unlike wildfires that can spread rapidly uphill, during a flood event you may be able to shelter livestock on nearby high ground. It's not that uncommon for neighbors to use tractors to relocate corral panels outside of the standing water, saving a great deal of transport time. Also, depending upon the incident type and location, our crew may send a panel trailer in order to create temporary corrals. Just remember that moving water can do some real damage, and as little as 12 inches of moving water can sweep a car off a roadway. How serious can floodwaters be? In 2017, INDOT had to cut a bypass canal across State Route 726 to save a bridge from washing out. High water, especially moving high water, is something to be taken seriously. This video is provided solely for orientation and to illustrate our equipment and practices that we have found useful. Persons inexperienced with these activities should receive competent instruction and have sufficient practice to operate safely and confidently when under pressure. And thanks for watching this video. We hope it has provided you with some useful material. For more information, please visit lrtcrescue.org.